Have you ever felt the agonizing sting of rejection? That familiar ache in your chest, even when you thought you were finally free of it? Perhaps it manifests as the deafening silence after a crucial conversation, or the slow fade of someone who once seemed utterly captivated by you. It's a wound that goes deeper than the surface, a subtle tremor beneath the edifice of your carefully constructed independence, leaving you to question your worth, your choices, and even your sanity. You might tell yourself you're over it, that it doesn't define you, yet the quiet despair of being overlooked, of not being chosen, whispers a different story in the recesses of your heart. This isn't just about a broken relationship. It's about the persistent feeling of not being enough, a haunting echo of past experiences that seems to play on an endless loop, drawing you into relationships that promise connection but deliver only variations of the same profound disappointment. Many women, like you, stand at this precipice, exhausted by the relentless cycle of hope and heartbreak. You've diligently worked on yourself, perhaps read countless books on self-love, and sought advice from every corner, only to find yourself repeating the same patterns, drawn to the very types of relationships that rekindle that original gnawing wound of rejection. You've tried to be the cool girl, the independent woman, the unbothered one, but beneath the surface, the yearning for deep connection, for true belonging, remains unfulfilled, often leading to a painful loss of self as you try to conform to an unspoken ideal. This isn't a failure on your part, nor is it a testament to your inherent brokenness. Rather, it's a profound spiritual signal, a hidden curriculum designed by the universe to guide you back to your true self, to awaken the dormant power of your sovereign will. Today, we embark on a journey beyond superficial dating advice and fleeting self-help maxims. We will delve into the ancient wisdom of Raja Yoga and the profound insights of Vedic philosophy, particularly as revealed in the Srimad Bhagavatam, to illuminate the true nature of this wound of rejection. We will explore how it operates not merely as an emotional scar, but as a subtle karmic imprint that unconsciously orchestrates your relational experiences, drawing you into what we call karmic loves. These are not destined partnerships in the romantic sense, but rather connections designed by your own deeper consciousness, by your karma, to bring unresolved patterns to the surface for healing and transmutation. You are not destined to repeat these cycles indefinitely. The wisdom of the Bhagavatam, combined with the practical discipline of Raja Yoga, offers a powerful pathway to break free. It teaches you that the ultimate liberation from the pain of rejection lies not in desperately seeking external validation, but in anchoring yourself in the unshakable truth of your own I, your true self, whole, complete, and eternally sovereign, regardless of external circumstances. The confusion between fleeting passion and true conscious connection is a common trap, often stemming from our mind's tendency to project ideal images onto others. This isn't about blaming anyone, but about understanding the intricate dance of our internal world. When you feel that intense chemistry, that intoxicating pull, it's often your deeper self recognizing a familiar karmic resonance, an echo of an unresolved story. The mind, being a powerful instrument, can interpret this resonance as profound love, when in reality it might be an invitation to heal a specific karmic knot. The Bhagavad Gita reminds us of the power of our mind. For him who has conquered the mind is the best of friends. But for one who has failed to do so, his mind will remain the greatest enemy. In the context of relationships, this means our untamed minds, driven by past conditioning and unfulfilled desires, can lead us down paths of repeated suffering, mistaking attachment for love, and projecting our unhealed wounds onto the canvas of a new relationship. The Raja Yoga tradition, as taught by Yogi Ramacharaka, emphasizes that the I is the true center of power, the silent observer, the master. Your mind and emotions are merely instruments, meant to serve your will, not dictate it. When you feel that gnawing fear of abandonment, that desperation for a message, that constant need for reassurance, it is not your I that is suffering. It is your mind, your non-I, identifying with a particular pattern of vritti or fluctuation of thought that has become habitual. The journey we are about to undertake is one of conscious re-identification, shifting your allegiance from the turbulent waves of your emotions and mental projections back to the tranquil, sovereign ocean of yourself. This shift is not merely philosophical. It is a profound, practical act of self-mastery, one that will fundamentally alter the way you experience relationships, allowing you to love from a place of fullness, not from a void of desperate need. Are you ready to reclaim your sacred power, to learn the wisdom that transforms every rejection into an initiation into deeper self-knowledge? The illusion of chemistry, that intoxicating magnetic pull toward another person, often begins with a subtle yet profound misidentification. We tend to believe that this intense initial spark is irrefutable proof of a soul connection, a destined encounter, or a sign of true love. Yet, for many, this very chemistry becomes the prelude to agonizing disappointment, repeating the same patterns of emotional unavailability, misunderstanding, or outright abandonment. This is the invisible error at play, identifying yourself with the success or failure of a relationship, mistaking the mind's intricate projections for an undeniable spiritual truth. The discomfort, the anxious anticipation, the desperate yearning that often accompanies such intense connections are not necessarily indicators of spiritual alignment, but rather, they are often echoes of past wounds, familiar reverberations of unresolved karmic patterns seeking completion. Consider for a moment the profound concept of karma. In Vedic philosophy, karma is not merely about good or bad deeds, but about the intricate web of actions, thoughts, and desires that shape our present realities and future experiences. These experiences are not random. They are meticulously orchestrated by the universe to present us with opportunities for growth, learning, and liberation. When you feel an overwhelming chemistry with someone, it might very well be your karmic imprint recognizing an unresolved past. This chemistry can be a powerful magnetic pull toward a person who holds the mirror to your unhealed wound of rejection, presenting you with the perfect scenario to finally confront and transmute it. The mind, being accustomed to what is familiar, even if it is painful, often interprets this karmic resonance as destiny or undeniable attraction, leading us to believe that this particular person holds the key to our happiness or the healing of our deepest fears. Yoga Ramacharaka teaches us about the distinction between the I, the true self, and the non-I, the mind, emotions, and body. The I is the silent observer, the eternal, unchanging consciousness. The non-I, particularly the mind, is a powerful instrument, capable of creating intricate illusions and projections. When the wound of rejection is active within us, stemming from childhood experiences, past relationships, or even ancestral patterns, the mind, driven by these unresolved vrittis, fluctuations, or thought waves, will seek out scenarios that resonate with this wound. It might project an idealized image onto a person, who subtly embodies the very qualities that trigger that fear of abandonment or being unchosen. The chemistry you feel is then not a pure connection between two sovereign selves, but rather a complex interplay of your mind's projections seeking to resolve a past dynamic, often unconsciously. You are not truly falling in love with him, but with the potential he represents, or the familiar echo of a pain you desperately wish to finally overcome. The Bhagavatam, with its rich narratives, provides countless examples of how individuals navigate the complexities of their desires and the consequences of their actions. It demonstrates how attachments, even those born of intense affection, can become sources of bondage if they are not rooted in a deeper understanding of the self and dharma. The pain of disillusion when you realize you fell in love with a potential, with a projection, not with the man he truly is a direct consequence of this error. It is the moment the non-I confronts the reality of its own projections. This realization, though painful, is a crucial step towards liberation. It is an invitation to withdraw your energy from the external projection and redirect it inward, towards the I, which alone holds the power to heal. A practical step in breaking this cycle involves a conscious act of observation. The next time you feel that intense chemistry with someone, pause. Do not immediately identify with the rush of emotions. Instead, observe your mind. Ask yourself, what specific hopes, fears, or unfulfilled desires is my mind projecting onto this person? Is this connection feeling truly expansive, or does it carry a familiar undercurrent of anxiety or subtle desperation? This is not to diminish genuine connection, but to discern its true nature. When you recognize that the intensity might be a karmic echo rather than pure alignment, you gain power. You cease to be a puppet of your subconscious patterns and begin to act from a place of sovereign awareness. This practice allows you to differentiate between the mind's intoxicating projections and the serene, stable presence of your true self, guiding you towards relationships that reflect your innate wholeness, rather than seeking to fill a perceived void. Your journey is not about finding someone to complete you, but about becoming so fully integrated within your own self that any relationship becomes an extension of your inherent wholeness. The silent, insidious fear of abandonment, that visceral dread that grips your heart when faced with distance or uncertainty in a relationship, is far more than just an emotion. It acts as a powerful magnetic force, subtly but consistently drawing into your experience the very scenarios you desperately wish to avoid. This isn't a punitive cosmic joke. It is the precise and intelligent mechanism of karma at play, reflecting your deeply ingrained mental patterns and subconscious beliefs back to you. Your internal landscape, particularly those hidden fears, becomes a powerful projector, manifesting externally what you secretly hold within. The struggle to break free from these cycles often stems from attempting to manage the external manifestation without first addressing the internal root cause, the fear itself. The Raja Yoga tradition, with its profound understanding of the mind, clarifies this dynamic. Yoga Ramacharaka emphasizes the immense power of the will of the I. Even when unconscious, our dominant thoughts and fears, often deeply buried within the subconscious, exert a profound influence on our reality. The inquietação da mente não dominada, the pati, unrest of the untamed mind, generates vriddis, or fluctuations, which can manifest as persistent anxiety, the need for external validation, or that paralyzing fear of abandonment. When your mind is constantly preoccupied with the fear of being left, or the anxiety of will he stay, it is effectively sending out a powerful energetic signal, creating the very conditions that resonate with that fear. It's a fundamental principle. What you consistently focus on with emotional intensity tends to materialize in your experience. Vedic philosophy delves deeper into the concept of samskaras, subtle impressions or imprints left on the subconscious mind by past experiences, thoughts, and actions. These samskaras create predispositions, influencing our perceptions, reactions, and the types of relationships we attract. The fear of abandonment, therefore, is not merely a fleeting emotion. It's a deeply etched samskara, a karmic residue. We are drawn to experiences that help us purify these samskaras, even if the process is painful. A partner who triggers your fear of abandonment is, in a profound sense, serving as a catalyst for your own healing, an opportunity to finally release that ancient fear from the depths of your being. This is why attempting to not care or play it cool often fails. These are superficial tactics that do not address the root samskara. The Bhagavad Gita underscores the importance of mastering the mind, stating, "For one who has controlled his mind, his mind is the best of friends, but for one who has failed to do so, his mind will remain the greatest enemy." When the fear of abandonment holds sway, your mind acts as an enemy, creating scenarios that reinforce that fear. The solution is not to repress the fear, but to observe it, understand its origins, and consciously transmute it. This is where the true power of the you, self, comes into play. The you is the unperturbed observer, the witness consciousness that can watch the fear arise in the mind, acknowledge it, and then, through the power of its will, choose not to identify with it. This is a subtle yet revolutionary shift. Here is a practical Raja Yoga exercise to begin transmuting the fear of abandonment. 1. Observe the sensation. The next time you feel the pang of abandonment fear, perhaps when you don't receive a text back or when he pulls away, do not immediately react. Instead, gently bring your attention to the physical sensation of the fear. Is it a tightness in your chest, a churning in your stomach, a sinking feeling? Just observe it without judgment, as a sensation in your body, a vibration in your non-I. 2. Name the non-I. As you observe the sensation, acknowledge that it is a vritti, a fluctuation of your mind, and not your true self. Silently say to yourself, "This is the fear of abandonment arising in my mind. This is a thought emotion of the non-I. It is not me." This act of naming and separating creates vital space between your I, and the fear. 3. Command with will. Now activate your sovereign will. From the quiet center of your I, gently but firmly command the mind. Mind, I observe this fear. I acknowledge its presence. But I, the you, choose not to identify with it. I am sovereign. This fear does not define my worth or my reality. I choose peace. Repeat this command mentally, feeling the subtle shift of power from the fear back to your true self. This practice is not about erasing the emotion, but about preventing it from taking root and dictating your actions or attracting further painful experiences. By consistently observing and re-identifying with your you begin to sever the magnetic cord of this karmic pattern. You become the conscious creator of your reality, not merely a recipient of experiences dictated by unexamined fears. This is the path to inner peace, where your worth is no longer subject to external validation, and your fear becomes a potent fuel for your spiritual growth. When faced with the silent treatment, the sudden distance, or the painful withdrawal of affection from someone you care about, the automatic response of the mind is often to spiral into anxiety, self-doubt, and a frantic attempt to regain control. This is the moment the wound of rejection screams its loudest, triggering the primal fear of abandonment. However, what if this very silence, this perceived rejection, is not a punishment or a testament to your unworthiness, but rather a profound invitation from the universe? What if his silence is, in truth, an unexpected sanctuary, a sacred space for your you sovereign to finally, fully hear its own voice? This counterintuitive perspective shifts the entire dynamic, transforming an external trigger of pain into an internal catalyst for profound self-mastery, aligning perfectly with the principles of Raja Yoga. The deepest error we often make in these moments is to direct all our energy outward, attempting to decipher his thoughts, analyze his actions, or force a response. This external focus drains our vital energy and reinforces the belief that our peace and worth depend on his presence or validation. The Raja Yoga tradition teaches that the I is inherently complete, a reservoir of pure consciousness and power. Rejection, abandonment, or silence are not events that diminish the I. They are experiences of the non-I, the ego, the mind, the emotions, which become turbulent when they identify with external outcomes. The pain you feel is the no you recoiling, but the you remains untouched, serene, and ever-present. This is the fundamental truth that empowers us to transmute pain into power. In moments of perceived rejection, the external world often falls silent, creating a void. Instead of fearing this void, we can choose to embrace it as an opportunity for pratyahara, the withdrawal of the senses from external objects, a key limb of Raja Yoga. When he goes silent, it's a cue, a cosmic signal to withdraw your attention from his actions or non-actions and redirect it inward. This isn't indifference. It's conscious, sovereign self-preservation. It's the moment to practice dharana, concentration, focusing your attention on the quiet, unchanging center of your I. This practice allows you to sever the energetic cords that bind your peace to external circumstances. Vedic philosophy, particularly the concept of dharma, offers profound insight here. Our dharma is our true purpose, our soul's unique path. Often, relationships that bring us deep pain or repeatedly trigger our core wounds are precisely those that call us back to our dharma, reminding us that our ultimate purpose is not to find completion in another, but to fully embody our own spiritual potential. His silence can be the universe gently, or sometimes not so gently, nudging you back to your own sacred path, prompting you to ask, what does my you truly need and desire, independent of this external dynamic? It's a radical act of self-love to turn inward when every instinct screams to chase what is external. Here's a simple, yet profound 3-step Raja Yoga technique for using his silence as a sanctuary for your you sovereign. 1. Acknowledge and detach observation. When his silence hits, acknowledge the immediate pang of pain, anxiety, or fear that arises. Do not judge it. Simply say to yourself, I am observing a feeling of anxiety or sadness or fear in my mind. This is a vritti of the non-I. It is not I, my true you. This simple act of conscious observation creates an immediate distance between your true self and the turbulent emotion. You are the observer, not the emotion itself. 2. Anchor in the breath and the I. Gently bring your attention to your breath. Feel the subtle rise and fall, grounding yourself in the present moment. As you breathe, silently repeat a mantra of sovereignty, such as I am whole, I am complete, I am my own center. Feel the inherent stability and peace within your you, recognizing that this peace is not dependent on any external validation or communication. Visualize your you as a tranquil lake, undisturbed by the ripples on its surface. 3. Redirect the will. With a calm, firm intention, consciously redirect the energy you would have spent analyzing, worrying, or chasing back to your own being. Ask yourself, what can I do for my you right now that nourishes my dharma? This might be reading, meditating, pursuing a passion, or simply resting. This is an active choice to invest in your own spiritual currency, rather than expending it on an external outcome. This redirection of will is a powerful act of self-mastery. This practice transforms the painful experience of silence into a sacred opportunity for deeper connection with yourself. It teaches you that your peace is an internal landscape, not an external construct. When you cease to be dependent on his communication for your inner stability, you naturally radiate a different energy, an energy of sovereignty, peace, and wholeness. This is the paradox of power. The less you need his response for your inner peace, the more powerfully you become a magnet for authentic connection that truly respects your sacred self. We have journeyed through the intricate landscape of the wound of rejection, uncovering how it often operates as a subtle karmic imprint, unconsciously drawing us into relationships that echo familiar patterns of pain. We've seen how the intoxicating illusion of chemistry can be a mind-generated projection, seeking to resolve past wounds rather than forming a pure connection between sovereign selves. And we've explored the profound truth that your deepest fears, particularly the fear of abandonment, act as a magnetic force shaping your reality. But crucially, we've also laid the groundwork for liberation, rooted in the timeless wisdom of Raja Yoga and Vedic philosophy. The ultimate goal is not to find a perfect partner who will never trigger your wounds, but to cultivate a sovereign self that can love deeply, authentically, and without losing its sacred center, regardless of external circumstances. The healing of the rejection wound does not come from desperately seeking external validation or by employing clever tactics to manipulate another's affection. It comes from within, through the conscious dominion of your will, as taught in Raja Yoga. It is an internal alchemy, transmuting the lead of fear and attachment into the gold of inner peace and unshakable self-worth. When you recognize that the I is the true master and the mind and emotions are merely instruments, you reclaim your inherent power. You cease to be a puppet of unconscious karmic patterns and become the conscious architect of your inner reality. This is the essence of emotional sovereignty. Your peace is non-negotiable and internally generated, a wellspring from which you choose to share rather than a void you seek to fill. Consider the profound archetype of Radha in the Bhakti tradition. Her love for Krishna is often depicted as the epitome of pure, unconditional devotion. Yet this devotion does not negate her identity or her sovereignty. It is a love that flows from a place of spiritual completeness, an offering of the self, not a desperate plea for validation. Radha's love is an act of spiritual self-mastery. She loves not because she needs, but because it is her very nature to love. This is the essence of loving from a place of bhakti, devotion, without losing your you, self. It is an understanding that true love, whether for the divine or for another human being, begins with a profound love for and mastery of your own spiritual self. When you embody this principle, you attract relationships that reflect this inner wholeness, relationships based on mutual reverence and expansion, rather than on unresolved needs and projections. The Srimad Bhagavatam, rich with narratives of divine play and human struggles, continually points to the ultimate purpose of life: self-realization and connection with the divine. Our relationships, especially the challenging ones, serve as powerful teachers on this path. They highlight where our attachments lie, where our vrittis are untamed, and where our subconscious fears still hold sway. Every instance of perceived rejection is, in fact, a divine invitation to turn inward, to observe the turmoil of the non-I, and to consciously re-anchor in the serene, unchanging presence of the you. This is not about becoming cold or detached. It is about cultivating a conscious, loving detachment from the outcome and an unwavering attachment to your inner truth. The journey of breaking karmic cycles and healing the wound of rejection is a continuous process of self-observation, conscious choice, and the unwavering application of your sovereign will. It requires courage to look honestly at your own projections, humility to acknowledge your patterns, and unwavering faith in the inherent completeness of your you. You are not broken. You are simply in the process of remembering your true, radiant nature. Every moment of perceived rejection becomes a stepping stone, not a stumbling block, on this sacred path. It is a moment to deepen your practice of self-awareness, to fortify your inner sanctuary, and to affirm your inherent worth, independent of any external validation. And so, I leave you with this powerful reflection. What if the very relationships that trigger your deepest wounds are not signs of your inadequacy, but rather precisely orchestrated opportunities for you to finally claim the unshakable sovereignty of your you? What if the universe, in its infinite wisdom, is using these experiences to lovingly compel you to turn inward, to find that complete and boundless love that already resides within you? This transformation is not a promise of an effortless path, but a guarantee of profound liberation, allowing you to choose, with your conscious will, relationships that truly honor the magnificent being you are. The journey we've explored today is not a simple linear path, but a profound spiral of awakening. Each time the wound of rejection surfaces, each time the familiar anxiety whispers in your ear, remember that it is an invitation to pause, to breathe, and to consciously choose to act from the you, your true, sovereign self, rather than from the reactive patterns of the non-you, the mind conditioned by past experiences. This is the essence of Raja Yoga, the unwavering discipline of bringing the mind and emotions under the benevolent dominion of the will. It is a daily practice, a moment-to-moment decision to return to your center. You are the center of your universe, a radiant being of consciousness, complete and whole. The external world, with its relationships and challenges, is but a reflection, a mirror holding up to you the lessons you need to learn, the fears you need to transmute, and the power you need to reclaim. Do not mistake the reflection for your true identity. Your worth is not determined by whether someone chooses you, validates you, or stays. Your worth is inherent, an unchangeable truth of your spiritual nature. Every experience, especially the painful ones, serves to polish this mirror, allowing the true light of your you to shine through unhindered. The wisdom of the Srimad Bhagavatam, with its timeless stories of devotion and self-realization, reminds us that the deepest love is ultimately an act of divine connection, an extension of the soul's natural inclination towards the absolute truth. When you cultivate this inner spiritual connection, when your you becomes rooted in its true essence, your external relationships naturally transform. They become less about desperate need and more about conscious sharing, less about filling a void and more about extending your inherent fullness. This path is one of immense courage, for it requires you to dismantle long-held beliefs about love and self-worth. Embrace this journey of individuation, where every relationship experience, Every moment of perceived rejection or profound connection becomes a stepping stone towards greater self-mastery. The peace you seek is not found in the perfect partner, but in the unwavering stillness of your own heart, cultivated through the consistent application of your sovereign will. You possess within you the power to break free from every karmic cycle, to transmute every wound into wisdom, and to manifest a reality that truly reflects your highest truth. Allow the wisdom of Raja Yoga and the grace of Vedic teachings to guide you, not to a destination, but to an ever-deepening understanding of the boundless power that resides within you. You are becoming the complete, unshakable sovereign you were always meant to be. If today's conversation resonated with the deepest stirrings of your soul, if you found a glimmer of truth in the intricate dance of karma, rejection, and the power of your sovereign you, then this journey has just begun. This channel is dedicated to providing profound spiritual wisdom, not fleeting advice to guide you from emotional dependence to unwavering sovereignty. To continue this transformative path with us, I invite you to take a moment to subscribe to this channel. By subscribing, you ensure you won't miss our upcoming deep dives into the esoteric wisdom of Raja Yoga and Vedic philosophy as I applied to modern relationships. Hit the notification bell so you're alerted every time we release a new video designed to empower your you. We believe in the power of conscious community. Share your reflections in the comments below. Have you recognized these karmic patterns in your own relationships? How has the wound of rejection shaped your journey? Your insights are invaluable and contribute to a space of shared growth and understanding for other women on this path. And if this message spoke to your heart, consider sharing this video with another woman who is tired of superficial relationship advice and is yearning for deeper spiritual understanding and true emotional freedom. Together, we can build a community rooted in lucidity, sovereignty, and profound inner peace. Thank you for being here, for choosing to listen to the wisdom within. Your journey of self-mastery is a sacred one, and we are honored to walk it with you.